Hello, it's Sam again. This is just going to be a video on Diablo's gear. It's my second video. Right now, the other two aren't up. They're going to be merged into one, and they're uploading right now. Let me go on Facebook. The first one's at 78%, 58 minutes remaining of uploadation. And the other one has not even started yet. Anyway, standard gear for a service dog. Again, gear is I cannot enunciate enough, is not required. It is highly suggested, and usually most service handlers will be courteous enough to identify even minorly a service dog. Again, like I said, it's not required. Yes, I'm wearing pants. They're just really, oh, wrong way, short. Because I've gained weight since I bought these 2 years ago. Anyway, sorry, they're riding up too short. Anyway, it's not required. They ask your dog where's the vest, and I mean, yeah, there's accidents sometimes where you bring your dog in and they're not in vest. But what I do to solve that problem is dogs have collars. Most handlers don't put their dog on a collar when leading, like they don't use the clip or the choke. Most handlers use it for identification purposes. Now, Diablo, I got a cookie! Come here. Come here, fat boy. I feel you moving. Come here. Hi. Hi. Where are you? Anyway, I'll show you in a minute. On top of his tag, which if you can't tell, he has a lot of little dildads. He's got my name on a tag, which it says Samantha. A double-sided identification tag. His rabies tag. Single-sided engraved rabies tag, or identification tag. And then there's this one. This one shows automatically that he's a service dog, and most people automatically know from it he's a service dog. They don't listen to it. But on the back it says, this animal's a service dog. Access is protected by federal law. It has my name. It actually can put the whole name as the handler name. It has enough characters. But it's easier for me because most people know my first name. But cannot pronounce my last name for the life of them. It's Polish. So, I just have my first initial and my last name on it, then his name, and it says United States Department of Justice with the phone number in ada.gov, and it has the little emblems on the bottom that show he has access to plane, train, hotels, seafare, and restaurants, basically anywhere where we can go. Now, a common misconception is a service dog is allowed to go everywhere a human is. That is true, except for 2 locations. A service dog is not allowed in an operating room, and is not allowed in ICU. PCU, they are. ICU, they aren't. Why? You cannot sterilize a dog. You can sterilize a human. We don't carry as much bacteria as dogs, but dogs can contain bacteria in their fur and on their gear, and they can't make a dog naked, because the dog has to be identified as a service dog at all times. And leashed, so you have to sanitize the leash and everything. And so it's just too much hassle to let a dog come in to the ICU and, my brain just died. Surgical. Operation room. That's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, so, one of the gear we have is a collar with at least 2 forms of identification. He has 2 forms of identification, a contact, a tag, and a vaccination tag. So this is something he wears all the time except when he's either in a bath or when he's sleeping. Because I can't deal with this when he wakes up in the night and scratches. You wouldn't either, because he sleeps on the bed with me. And he sleeps right next to me. And he'll sit there all night long. And it drives me up the wall. So he gets this taken off at night. So there's that. His other gear is his vest. Now, this is for a German Shepherd, and it is set A little bit bigger than its smallest setting. We can actually probably set it back because he's been losing weight. No, that should fit him. So he's got a service vest. The front chest band is adjustable. It's at its smallest setting and it still sticks out a couple inches from his chest. He's a small dog, but this collar is for a German Shepherd, and it barely fits him. It's getting to be too small. This vest is for a German Shepherd. It's too big. Most harnesses, we have his black harness. It's a medium, and it's too big. This is a medium, and it's too big. Or this is a medium, and it's too big. That's a medium, and it's too small. This is a large, and it's too big. And he has another color that we recently bought that's too large, and it's a large. So he fluctuates on size. Even measuring exact, he still fluctuates to the point you gotta be careful. Sorry, my friend wants to go to the beach over spring break, and I asked her what state so we could start looking. Yeah, she's never been to the beach. I have been to Florida several times. Kind of not hoping it's Florida because I have family down there, and my grandpa's actually down there, and I don't get along with my grandpa. He's in the hospital right now. Anyway, so you got the collar, sorry, and you've got his jacket, which is a vest. It's just the standard vest. It's got a D clip on the back, which is what I clip. When I'm at school, I clip my ID, my student ID on there, so if he somehow gets off and he loses his collar, his vest isn't going to come off. It's a secure vest. I can pick him up by the handle and under his butt and pick him up with the vest. So it's pretty sturdy, so he's not going to break out of it. But that way they can see the clip on it stating, this is his handler, this is the girl who's with him, and has my student ID, and they can just scan the barcode and see everything about me. All my demographic information down to my social security. But that's because it's the school and you have to put your social in to apply. Anyway, so this is one of his main gear. Sorry, someone's speeding on the road. You can hear it. It's in a motorbike. Another is his... Sorry, I put him all on that far table. I shouldn't have. I'm gonna just hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, it was just literally 2 seconds. I just didn't want to get up and keep showing you all my butt. Anyway, another important gear we have. This is the medium vest that's too large. This is the medium vest that its largest setting is too small. I'm an admin of another group, so that's what that is now, is someone's being a jerk and being very rude. It's a no judgment free stuff group. Anyway, someone's passing judgment and trying to get someone to buy him drugs. It's highly illegal. Anyway. This vest, the chest is a little bit smaller than it can be set, but that's just because it fits his chest. The girth, the ribs, because the chest part goes across here with a strap down his breastbone and another one under his girth. The girth is at its largest setting, and I have to push his skin down, have my boyfriend grab the back skin on his spine and pull it down taut to clip it, and it digs into his skin. We only use this on short car rides, just because I like this clip better for car rides. It goes between his shoulder blades, and he has a habit of getting dog beak on the window. My boyfriend calls it. I don't mind dog beak, but I don't have my own car right now, so if my boyfriend has to think about not letting the dog in the car, even though he's a service dog. So if I want the service dog in the car, he has to either A, sit on the floorboards, which is highly illegal, so I made a compromise. I did get a car seat, a waterproof car seat cover for the back seat. But he has to sit in the middle, buckled up, at the tightest setting of the seatbelt buckle, to where he can sit up, but he cannot move left or right. He can get up and lay down. Get up and lay down comfortably. But he cannot touch dog beak on the window, because David, my boyfriend, likes to continuously clean his car. He's a clean freak over here. He was brought home in a 96, which he was born in 96, V8 Mustang convertible, leather interior, black leather interior. So he was brought home in a fucking sports car. He is very peculiar on vehicles. His first car he learned to drive on was an 03 cherry red, black leather interior, manual 5-speed Mustang convertible V8. So his mom had a Firebird when he was born. His first car is a 95 Toyota Camry V6, which is all Camrys, or 99% of Camrys are V4s, which is a standard 4-cylinder. He has a 6-cylinder, so he has what a a titty baby Mustang has. He has the cheapo Mustang engine in his Toyota Camry. So he flies. I learned on his Camry and it is a nightmare. Anyway, so that's our compromise. We use this harness. I can go off in La La Land. So just fast forward if I do it. Anyway, we use this harness for in the cars. So like anywhere in town, that's like, we have some places in town that are a little farther out, like some lakes, and we live in Hot Springs, so we have mountains, and you know, the one with the mineral water and everything. Mountains, rivers, lakes. We're a national park. So if we're going like out towards Royal, but not into Royal, which is where Charlton Park is, we go there a lot for swimming. They have no dogs. I've been told off because so many times, because Diablo has been near the water and in the water because he swims with me. And they're like, well, I'm going to call a ranger because he's a pet. No, he's a service dog. No, he's a pet. Because if he was a service dog, he wouldn't be in the water. No, service dogs get in the water all the effing time. She's like, well, I'm going to call the game warden. And I said, go right ahead. The head state game warden is giving me permission that he can go in any water, anywhere in the state, because he's allowed everywhere a human is. She called him, and one of the workers came out and said, we know who you are. You're fine. And they had to escort the lady off because she was throwing such a huge fit because her little Chorky couldn't go in, which is like a Chihuahua Yorkie. It's a fucking Chorky. Get over it. Your dog will drown if he gets in there anyway. He can't swim, nor do you have a life jacket for him. Diablo's life jacket's torn up. We got to get him a new one. But he has one. Anyway, it's not a required gear, but there's this harness. We are getting him a new harness that straps behind his neck and under his ribs, but across his breastbone. It's a no-pull harness. And we're also getting him a head harness, which is actually being ordered. It's coming in. We should get it within, by the 25th, I want to say. Anyway, we're getting that. I need to grab that, show that to you. I showed y'all earlier, but I'm going to show you again. Anyway, he has the choke collar, this harness. A thing that is part of his gear that you never see. Come here. On the bed. It's in him. Come here. Many people have heard of microchipping. He is chipped in his skin right between his shoulder blades. We did not get a company to do it. We did not get the vet to do it because if we did it through his cheap vet, it's $50 one-time lifetime fee. If we went through the emergency vet, it's $70 to insert it in the first year and $50 every year thereafter. We went to the pound. I hate going to the pound here with him because they always think I'm trying to give him up, even though I state he's a service dog 20 fucking times, and I have to go sit in the car with him because they want me to release him, and that's not going to happen. Anyway, we took him there, and they injected him. He's registered. I keep his microchipping ID in my wallet in case he somehow does get lost, as well as I take a picture, at least one picture of him a day, so I can keep the most updated picture in case he somehow goes lost. And now right, my squishy butt. Another part of his gear that he likes, he picks out his own bandanas every day. We usually change them every day, but lately we do it once a week because my washer and dryer don't have one anymore. I think I go to the laundromat now once a week. Very important piece of your gear, you are required to have a leash, obviously. There's none on it. His leash, we got this about a year ago. Hi, mother. It's a standard 6-foot leash. Ow. No, this one's an 8-foot. It's an 8 or 9-foot. I don't remember. I think it might be a 10-foot. Anyway, this leash we got at Walmart. It's for a small dog. He's a medium to large dog. They're the same durability. Unless you have like a German, then you want a really tough leash, especially if you're training to be guard and attack, which I've trained some. Anyway, this is a small because he's literally kept where I make a slip knot with the leash, which is basically you take this, put it through the middle, and pull that through. So when you put it on your wrist, it tightens or loosens. And I'll wrap it around my hand because I don't like the extra leash. And I'll wrap the last 3 in like this with my hand, fully extended at my side, and the choke collar on, which I hate using the choke collar, but we don't have a collar, that standard collar that fits him, or a head harness, and I don't like using the buckle, the D-clip on his back harness, because then he has to walk ahead of me, and I feel like I have less control using the harness, so I try to use a head harness or a collar, which I don't like using a collar. Anyway, so I do that, and it's where he's right in an exact heel. I can drop the leash. I can walk away. I didn't mean to hit your head. And, like, go about my... Cat, get off. Get out the peanut butter! I bopped her tail. It didn't hurt her. And, no, I need you to upload. Sorry. I can't breathe. I talk too fast and it makes me stop breathing for a little bit. Anyway, you have to have a leash, obviously. Now, this is the collar we got in the mail 2 days ago. It's a large. He usually wears a large size collar. This is, it said it was for 14 to 17 inches. His neck is 15 1/4. So 14 to 17, it should fit. But here's the funny thing. Hold on, let me fix this. Diablo. I'm not off the bed. Come here. Come here. Sit. You can slip it on his head. But do you see how much room he has? He could easily slip out of that, barely pulling. So, I got it because it's cute. I like shit like this. I'm weird. I'm punk, I guess you could call it. But this will be for Cinder, whether she's a service dog or not. This will be just a collar for her. So, I always suggest having at least 2 collars, but he usually has 3, which is the choke, a paracord, which I'm remaking a paracord. I'm getting a new tag because his tag broke, so I had to cut the paracord off to get the tag off to put it on his old tag, and that my phone number changed. So I put a paracord collar on at the smallest part of their neck, which is right behind their skull. This is not tight at all. Like, I could tighten it and he'd freak out, but my fingers, if you see, there's room. But it goes right there at the back of his head. And I slip it on and I finish braiding it, and then I flip it out, and I could put fire on it to burn it, to melt it together, and he won't care. Surprisingly, he doesn't get ticks, so we just give him flea and heartworm meds, which is the trifexis for his medicine. Now, another thing is saddlebags, which these are removable. Same with the ones on his vest. And there's Velcro on the back, so you can either run it through the loop and on the back, or run it through the loop and on the top. Velcro on the top. I run it through my belt loop. And if you run it through the one on top, the back will stick to this, which is where that was. This one's empty. We haven't been using it, because hair ties and a shoelace. Anyway, I've been carrying it because when he carries it, it's not that there's a problem. It's that he's not used to wearing the saddlebags. We didn't train him with the saddlebags, and he didn't start wearing the saddlebags commonly till a couple weeks ago. So he's not used to them. But saddlebags are good for carrying additional medical equipment other than your dog. Gear and necessary requirements for the dog, etc., etc. Now, with the D-clip, what I didn't mention on his harness is we have 2 carbiner clips, which are like those. I can't pull it off because it's uploading a file. These are carbiners. These are carbiner clips. Sorry, I have both my flash drives on my key clip, and one of them's hooked into the computer uploading that video. I pulled it from my phone. Anyway, because that way I could use my phone while it was uploading. But I'm getting dizzy. They're good for storing the dog's gear, but with the carbiner, I've got like a collapsible water bowl. So I'm gonna hook it. I usually have this collapsible water bowl on here. Poop bags are clipped on here, as well as my identification for school when I'm at school. Just so he carries his own shit. He carries his own weight. So there's that. I need you to not run around naked, so let me put your face back on. Now, this one, mine do have a small pouch in the front and then the main pouch. In the small pouch, this one's currently empty, but we usually have my wallet in it. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm having trouble seeing. And 2 veterinarian cards stapled together. Here it is. The one on the top is his standard vet. If they're open, I'd prefer that he goes there unless we're in an emergency situation. It's which she's not a big enough clinic to have an emergency vet. So that's just our regular Kelly on airport. The bottom one, so you flip it over, and the bottom one is the emergency vet. They go to the appointment there once a year to stay in the emergency system. It's like Hamilton Animal Hospital. If case of an emergency, or if Kelly is not open, which Kelly's never open Sundays or Thursdays. Sundays for religious purposes, and Thursdays is surgery day. They would take them to Lake Hamilton. But they do have written on the back emergency vet and regular vet. So people know. Also, in his harness, saddlebag, pens for class. I have a habit of not taking my book bag to class. I really should. I don't. Collapsible water bowl. These are a great investment. I always suggest buying 4 or more because this one I've had for almost a year and it's breaking apart, if you can't tell. I've got 4 more on order. You lose them. I lost a pink one. I lost a green one. I found out recently I lost the green one at my friend's ranch. She has an Appy, which is a horse, an Appaloosa, and an ex-racer horse, which is actually the son of Smarty Jones. The racehorses that they have, that's the son of Smarty Jones' name is Gaither Draw. Y'all may have heard of him. He last sold for $130,000. He was given to them as a birthday present, I think, if I remember correctly. Anyway, as well as some drugs. Not bad drugs, like antibiotics and antipsychotics. I left at their barn when we went out there to ride one day. So she actually has my green one. But I always suggest carrying 2 on you and having at least 2 to 4 back up in case you lose them. Why 2? I personally carry 2. Right now I'm only carrying 1 because food and water. Food, a lot of people won't do, but I do because I have a habit of waking up late, even with 1,000,001 alarms, which most Americans have this problem. I forget to feed him. Now, the cats, obviously, they eat whenever they want. You know, they have 2 food bowls right there, one on that side of the TV, one on that side of the TV. They have 1 on top of the bookcase, 1 on the kitchen table, 3 on the counter, 1 on top of the fridge, 1 on the desk, 1 on the other TV stand, which doesn't have a TV, 1 on the side table, and 3 on the cat tree. On one of the cat trees. And they have 2 in the bathroom. So, and each one holds between 1 cup and 6 cups. So, they always have cat food. If I see one low, I'll fill it up. He is on a strict diet. He's actually on a even stricter diet than he normally would be, which a day he's not supposed to get more than half a cup. On the diet, he's not supposed to get more than a quarter cup. Why is that flashing at me? Oh, it's saying I only have 23 minutes and 18 seconds and I'm at 22:58. This might be 2 videos. Merged. Anyway, I'm going to keep an eye on it. Why is it flashing? Anyway, he's supposed to get a quarter cup a day on the diet, with what we call the green bean diet, which I've noticed a lot. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I guess it was because I was only on the lock screen and I didn't actually go into my camera. So this is video 2. I guess I'll have to merge these 2 together. I don't want to restart. But, so he's on the green bean diet. And basically that's where, yeah, he eats a quarter cup of dry dog food a day. So what we do is we split that in half. And give him 1/8 in the morning and 1/8 at night. But on top of that, we give him half a can of green beans. Why green beans? I wish it worked for humans the same way it does dogs. Green beans are a filler. They fill up and they make them feel fuller for longer. In that process, it makes them lose weight. Diablo's been on the green bean diet for about a week now, and he has lost, like, 8 pounds. Now, for a dog, converting that to human, that's like 20 human pounds. Anyway, unhealthy, yeah, I know, but to make up for it, he gets a lot of dog treats. So he's not like, he's losing a lot of fat, he's not losing calories. He's still very active, he's still very healthy. He's crazy fucking healthy. Anyway, so that's why I usually carry 2 of these, is because one's for dry dog food, which if I miss a meal, I'll give him a full regular dosage. Like, instead of 1/8 of a cup, I'll give him a quarter cup. So on the days I forget meals, like this morning, he got a cup actually in the middle of class and a quarter cup at home, 1/8 a cup at home, with half a can of green beans tonight. So that was his dinner. These are also good because Your dog's a dog. It's going to get thirsty, bro. Water. Silicone. And just smush it to flatten it. So that's one thing. Treats. Sometimes Diablo gets really excited when he sees someone he hasn't seen in a while and really likes, like my ex-boyfriend or several of my other friends. My ex-boyfriend, he was raised around, and he was one of the nicest people to Diablo. I have people now who aren't allowed near him anymore because they've shot him with BB guns in the butt or in the head, and I don't want them near him. They're just a danger to him. So, like, my ex, you know, he would always spoil him whenever he came over to visit, when we weren't dating and when we were, give him treats, buy him things he didn't need. So he associated my ex with really good positive reinforcement. So, like, when he sees my ex, he gets really excited and jumpy at school. So these are just there for a correctional. He usually is pretty good, just grabbing, just touching the saddlebag, and he straightens up. So you really don't need these anymore, but I like to have them because sometimes he does really good. Like, if he'll prevent attack, if he'll alert and prevent an attack, he gets 1. Or 2, or 10. It just depends. But every time he does something I want, he gets a correctional positive reinforcement, which these are $50 for a little bit more than this. 100% grain-free pork jerky dog treats. Dog food, like I said. Sometimes I forget to feed him. Because I'm a lady. And I don't carry purses. He does carry my tampons. Now, since like I said, he doesn't have his poop bag dispenser, he also carries 2 rolls of poop bags. I have got a million of these. I lost this one, and I lost this one, and I lost another one. I have like 5 more rolls up in his caddy, which is on my door. Which is his gear caddy, except for his vest. His vest goes on the coat rack. So he carries poop bags, tampons, dog kibble. No, you're not getting no more. Dog jerky. Collapsible dish. I can get it in here. Pens for school. Sorry, I gotta rebuild his bag. And his emergency information. That's just one saddlebag. We usually only use one saddlebag because I'm usually carrying it. But when he does carry his own, we fill that other saddlebag up with hand sanitizer. You're going to clean up shit, and you're not always going to have soap and water nearby. Hand sanitizer does the job, and it gets it, and it goes. So I got little Bath & Body Works hand sanitizer, like $1.75. Ibuprofen. I get fevers for no reason. I don't know why, but I can go out in 6 feet of snow. 6 feet of snow in the middle of winter like this and be burning up. I think it's because my heart has to overpump because of my cardiac problem, which I'll explain in another video why I have to have Diablo other than the asthma. I think that might be why, because it's overworking, so it's overheating me. But ibuprofen, because it's an anti-fever, and I get really bad headaches to the point I actually cannot take Tylenol or ibuprofen, but it does help a little, not really noticeable. But the only way to make it noticeable, I have to OD, which is why I'm on naproxen. 2,000 milligrams of naproxen for a little headache. Now, a migraine, I've been admitted to the ER repeatedly for migraines. We don't know why mine are so severe, but I went to my doctor, and you quit with it. That's why he's not allowed to have the collar on at night. We talked to my doctor, and he prescribed the 2,000 milligrams of naproxen because I was taking 6 to 8 Tylenol every 3 hours for headaches. And he was worried I was going to kill my liver. And 6 to 8 Tylenol, I still had a headache even though taking that. But I didn't want to OD, but I was already ODing, but I didn't want to OD more. So he prescribed naproxen. It's to the point 2,000 milligrams of naproxen isn't helping anymore. And he's ready to prescribe hydros, even though hydros are, I don't know. I know they're not anti-inflammatory, which is usually what headaches are. Benadryl. Off-brand Benadryl. Not for me. I don't have allergies. I mean, I have allergies, but they're not what Benadryl can fix easily. Yeah, I can take Benadryl because it'll help, but usually my allergies are either so slow, you don't need it, or so fast, I just need to go to the ER. Which are sulfa, you know, usually the antibiotics or the drug, latex, which I found out from having sex, and inhalers and a couple other things. The rescue inhalers. What was the other? There was one more. I never really come in contact with the last one frequently, so I don't remember it off the top of my head. But the Benadryl is actually for Diablo. He chews his butt. They think it's an allergy thing. It does help, but it doesn't stop the chewing. So he takes 1.5 tabs every 8 hours. You actually should be taking 2, but now you're losing weight. We take my script of Rexulti. It's 3 milligrams, but 2 milligrams makes me violent. 1 milligram is not enough. So I only get 15 a month, and we cut them in half, so 1.5 milligrams a day. I'm not wearing contacts. I don't currently have contacts, but when I do, we carry artificial tears. I have like 5 million different kinds of artificial tears. I prefer contacts over glasses because I have a tendency to forget my glasses. But I do keep a pair of glasses in David's car just in case I do forget my contacts. When I do have contacts or I do forget my glasses and I need to drive. Because I have a Class B restriction on my license, which is just corrective lenses. These keep my eyes moist. Don't rub your eyes too hard when you have contacts because they will pop out. My rescue inhaler. I'm not supposed to use it except there's an absolute emergency. This is the only one I haven't really had problems with. Like I said, a couple times I only haven't had problems with it is because of the EpiPen my friend had. I don't have slots for an EpiPen, but this is my rescue inhaler. If I have to use it, I can. I actually need to get a new one because I only have 176 uses left. 176 divided by 2 is 40, no, 50, 62, 63 uses. 63 uses, yes, left. I don't use it frequently, but I've been noticing when I have had to use it, it doesn't puff because it hasn't been primed. To prime an inhaler, you're done. I always do it twice to keep it even. But I have to get permission to get them refilled. Usually with a rescue inhaler, you do, but you can get them refilled every month. I'm not allowed to refill my rescue inhalers more than once every 6 months, just because he doesn't want me having a medical reaction. So now I have 62 uses left. We keep a pill cutter because, like I said, I have to take half a pill a day, and he takes 1.5 twice a day, 2 to 3 times a day, every 8 hours. And this concoction. A lot of people buy pill pockets for their dogs. It gets expensive. Yes, with a service dog, you get reimbursed in full for all of your purchases and shit you pay for them. But it's still pretty expensive because you don't get paid back till tax season. I found a cheap and easy way to make doggy pill pockets. And what I do is I just mix it up. It's really hard, but it's also really soft. It's to fill this completely, a little over completely. Diablo, come eat some peanut butter. Is the standard recipe I found out is 2 tablespoons peanut butter, 3 tablespoons peanut butter, 2 tablespoons flour, and 2 tablespoons milk. This is everything doubled, fits in one of these little containers with a little bit over, which you can take and make 6 pill pockets from. But I mix it up in a bowl and then I stuff it in here. I close it off and I use whatever's left to take his medicines at the time of making and little treats just so he gets confused. I mean, he'll take his meds with or without the pill pockets. It's just easier because he fights a little bit. So it makes my life easier. It makes his life easier. So what's usually in that empty one is medicines. His medicines, my medicines. Sometimes we'll put like a little tennis ball in here. Sometimes if he has an injury or if I have an injury, we'll put Band-Aids, gauze, tape, antibiotic ointment, alcohol, hydrogen peroxide. We'll fill it up with medical equipment. Now, some things he doesn't have but he is getting is we're having a miniature canine medical kit we're getting for his vest, which is going to attach to the D-clip then. I'm actually wanting to get a custom-made vest where it has the handle and it has these where you can hook the saddlebags, but it also has 2 D-clips, and I want 2 more D-clips. So I want a total of 4 D-clips, because that way, they're wanting me to get a big dog for mobility, because they think I'm having trouble. You know, my size and weight doesn't help, but I can barely walk across my house without dying and ready to pass out from the struggle it causes. And talking can even overwhelm me to the point I've passed out before. So they want me to get a mobility dog. And so that way I want the 2 D-clips so I can attach a handlebar. And I want the extra D-clip up here and the one down here. So the one down here can be for his medical kit. And the one up top can hold like his poop bags, my ID, and his water bowl. So I just want a little bit more daring so I have a little bit more stuff I can attach. I don't care about patch space. I can always get an attachable cape, which, you know, you can use clips to attach on the 2 side D-rings and cover for more patch space if I want it. I don't, it's a service dog, that's all I need, you know. I can get pins if I want and stick them to his pouch or whatever. It doesn't bother me. That's another thing we're getting. We're getting a head harness, which you might have seen on some dogs. And it goes over their muzzle. It's not tight. It looks kind of like a muzzle, but it goes over their muzzle, which is what their snout is called. And it clips right here, and it goes around their neck. So it controls them under the jaw, like kind of like a halter on a horse. We're getting him one of those. We're getting him paracord to make a paracord collar. A hands-free leash is really nice because it gives you free range of both hands, and the dog's still connected to you. Sorry. Booties. A lot of people think booties on dogs are stupid. I personally hate dog booties, but I'm getting them. Why? Because dogs don't really stand well on slick surfaces because of the way their paws are made. The pads on their paws aren't there for grip. They're more there for rocky outdoor terrains. They're not built for slick interior terrains. So rough wear is actually pretty good. This is not a rough wear sponsored video. No. I've just recently started using them. I've actually got some stuff on order from them. They're really good because they, if you have like a service dog or a military war dog or a police dog, a fire dog, a working dog who helps almost every day, if not every day, you can sign up for their pro product plan, which is basically where you submit an application and it states what your dog is, what you are to that dog, handler, veterinarian, trainer, who the handler is, what they do for you, where you live, you know, just basically how this dog is classified as a working dog. And they'll review your application, and if they approve it, it gets you 50% off their gear, which is actually very helpful for service dogs because gear can get pretty pricey. I mean, you don't have to use a service dog vest, but it helps. Most of their gear can be used on, they're meant for every dog, but if you have a service dog, a lot of them do have like some of their harnesses. Sorry, my boyfriend came over. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, they're pretty good. Like a lot of their harnesses have the handles, and they have the pouches, and they come in like almost every color, but a lot of them, like their Walker GoPro harness is like a bright like cherry red. So it's a medical red, like you'd see a lot of red vests of service dogs. Then they have the crossover vest, which is like bigger on the chest and smaller on the back, which has a clip right here in the back on the lower back, and then one on the chest right here, so you can have 2 points of attachment. We're getting one of those. But anyway, back to the booties. Rough Wear has these booties, and they have 3 different kinds. I don't remember what kind we got, but they're the ones that cover the paw and go halfway up the ankle. And they're good because they have the attachment right at the base of the paw. And so, because they're longer, they're less likely to slip off. If they do, you can catch it a lot faster. Then they have ones that are short at the end right here, and then they have ones that have go at midway between them. And they also have dog socks, which I think is really cool. Unnecessary, but cool. Because I have to get them with him because his paw is 1 1/4, and their smallest is 1 1/2. But those socks add an extra quarter. So I'm getting them just because they fill it in, and his paws aren't going to be loose in the boot. Which, if you buy a loose shoe for you, it's gonna blister your foot. I don't want him incapable of walking. So that's another good thing to get apart. Another is Rough has the Cloud Chaser jacket, which is water resistant, dirt resistant. It's everything elemental resistant, and it like zips up on the. Anyway, it zips up on their ribs and opens, and you slip their paws in, put it on their back, and zip it up. So it looks like one piece. And it's tight enough that it can fit under a harness, but it keeps them insulated, warm, and dry. But it's really good. I just hit you in the face because you moved. I'm sorry. It's really good for like colder weather, and they have some that are fleece, which are even better for colder weather. And my glasses not on is giving me a headache. Basically, go check out roughwear.com. It's really cool. They have a lot of cool gear for service dogs. Any dogs in general. Paracord's another good thing to use for gear. Like, I use paracord for collars and leashes because it's everything proof. Even no matter how much... I did that deliberately. No matter how much you wear and tear it, it's not going to destroy it easy. It's the ones I get is 750 pound. Usually you get 550 pound. I get 750 pound just because it's more military grade and it's a lot stronger. And each square foot or each foot can withhold 750 pounds, which every inch you use a foot of paracord, so it reinforces it really good. So every inch has 750 pounds with endurance. But that's just the video. And then you got like patches, a lot of different patches you can get. Muttbuttgear.com. They make a lot of custom patches from $4 to $12. Scooby and Scrappy is good. They make custom vests and leashes, collars, like gear. And they usually are pretty good about working together. And if Scooby and Scrappy makes you a vest, Mutt Butt Gear can put the patches on the vest or vice versa. They're pretty good. I haven't used them personally, but I have seen their stuff. I've seen the quality. They do have wait lists because they're so popular. I actually got a quote from Scooby and Scrappy for what I specifically wanted. And they said that's going to be well over $100. And I'm like, not all at once. They don't waste their time. Please do not waste their time. They are really good people. They're really hard workers. So don't go and place an order and then not buy it. That's not only rude, but it's wasteful. You know? If you're not going to pay for it, don't order it. Because that not only takes out time from them, but it takes out time from people who are actually going to purchase an item and need the item and who are going to pay for the item. Because what if you ordered before those people? They're going to make your crap before they make the other people's. And that just took 2 or 3 days of their time away because you ordered something and you're not going to pay for it. Same with Mutt Butt Gear. Don't order something and not pay for it. And they're not going to send it to you unless you pay for it first in the first place. But don't order it if you're not going to pay for it. Don't waste their time. These people, these women and men are just so sweet and so nice, and it's just disrespectful to do that to them. They're hard workers. Anyway, service dogs gear, there's so much you can have. There's like no limit to what you can have, but there's a lot of things you can have. There's a lot of things you don't have to have. I mean, you don't really have to have anything but a collar and a leash. But it's suggested you have some form of identification that the dog is a service dog. Anyway, that's my video. It's probably too much. Bye.